Hello, everyone. It's time for comprehension. Please make sure you've got your pencil and paper to write down your answers. Right, I'll start from page 42, the last two lines over here. Before going to their beds, the geese gathered together one last time, set forehead to forehead, drinking deep of one another's courage, fiercer now than ever in the fiery determination. We ask the Lord to bless our endeavors tonight, the wolf whispered. Remember, we fight this time in his name. It would be easy to come at the beast with weapons, but I shall cut short this monster's life with my own God-given strength. Let God choose which of us shall triumph, and we have no fear of losing. Believe that, my friends, and we shall win. So Beowulf went to his bed, and his men too, but in truth they slept only fitfully, for there was not one of them, not Beowulf himself even, who could be certain how the night would end, whether any of them would ever again see the light of dawn. They knew well enough how many brave Danes this Grendel creature had dragged lifeless. Right, I'll pause there for my first question. So for my first question, the first line over here, what does it mean to drink deep of one another's courage? The first line over here says drinking deep of one another's courage. Explain what does that mean. You can pause the video here and write down your answer. My next question is, why didn't the men sleep very well? Okay, I will carry on. They knew well enough how many brave Danes this Grendel creature had dragged lifeless and bleeding from Heorot, how unlikely it was that some or all of them would ever again see their hearth and home. In silent prayer, each of them placed his life in the hands of his almighty Maker, who had from the very beginning ruled supreme in all the affairs of men. Apart from his lair, through the shadows came Grendel, this stalker of the night, while in Heorot the warriors lay turn-tossed in their sleep, only one of them left on ever watchful guard, every moment steeling himself from the ordeal of battle he knew must come very soon. And it was coming too. Grendel came gliding through swirling moorland cloud mists, death dealing in his hate-filled heart, thirsting to kill again that night as he had so often before. Down from the forest came Grendel now, saw the mead house, scented the sweet flesh of those inside, easy victims, as easy as before, he thought. Had the monster known what awaited him there, he would most certainly, most surely, have thought twice, slunk back to his lair and never returned, for this would be the last time the beast was ever to go out on a killing spree. Never more would the terror tyrant stalk the land. Now it was his turn to suffer the panic of fear and the pain of death agony. So the giver of death and destruction would become the receiver at last. He did not know it yet, though, and came on unawares to Heorot. Rage wrecked, on wreckage bent, Grendel ripped open the iron-studded doors. They were no hindrance to him. He scanned the dark hall through fire-blazing eyes, saw the slumbering thanes still drowsy in sleep. Right, my next question is, what does the word hindrance mean? It's right here in the bottom paragraph. What does the word hindrance mean? He scanned the dark hall through fire-blazing eyes, saw the slumbering thanes still drowsy in sleep. The solitary, startled sentry, the whole warband, rejoicing at the prospect of another flesh feast, this vile and vengeful creature laughed out loud at his good fortune. He would tear each and every one of them to pieces, stain Herod's floor once more with the lifeblood. A night of gore and gluttonous pleasure lay ahead of him, or so it seemed. And so it began too, as he snatched up the first Geatish sentry he saw, Hansio he was called, and simply tore him apart, bolting his flesh in great gobbets, gnawing and gnashing on his bones, stripping the meat, sucking the veins until, in moments, nothing of the poor helpless man was left, not a hair of his head, not a hand, not a foot, not even a nail. That was just the beginning for him, he thought. Okay, so my next question is, what does the word sentry mean? What does the word sentry mean? You can read through the text here and look for the word and write down its meaning. My next question is, who does Grendel eat first? You can write down the name. Who does Grendel eat first? That was just the beginning for him, he thought. On to his next victim. He pounced at once, reaching out to grab him with his killing claws. But now he was met with a grip of steel, a grip harder, tighter than he had ever known, that seized him, held him fast by the arm. Locked in the vice of this grip, he could not break free, however much he struggled, and he knew at once he had met his match. Filled with sudden fear, the monster struggled again and again to unloose this fist, yearning only now to be away from Herod and home again in the safety of his lair. Vainly he tried to pull away, but the wolf's fingers fastened harder still in an ever-tightening grip around that callous killer's arm. How Grendel longed to get out to escape to the forests and fens, but no power on this earth could force Beowulf to release his grip. Now Grendel knew, this merciless, murderous ogre, that he should have never come this night, that his death was coming, and that despite all his efforts to tear himself away, there was nothing he could do to prevent it. Okay, I'll stop here today. My next question is, why is Grendel suddenly filled with fear? Why is Grendel suddenly filled with fear? Read through your text and pause the video to write down your answer. And my last question for today is, do you like that the author told you that Grendel would lose before he actually did? Explain your answer. I'll repeat my question. Do you like that the author told you that Grendel would lose before he actually did? Explain your answer. So I'm not looking for yes, I liked it or no, I didn't. I want you to tell me why didn't you like it or why you liked it. Please write a good explanation. So this last question, all of you would have your own different answer. So I would really like to see your answer on Tapestry and see and read through your different opinions. Okay, now I'll go back to question 1 and we'll discuss the answers. That's on page 3. So my first question was, what does it mean to drink deep of one another's courage? So it means that they felt stronger and more courageous when fighting together as a team. They came together to support and fight together. They felt more courageous when they put their foreheads together and felt the strength. My next question was, why didn't the men sleep very well? That's also on this page. They didn't sleep well because of the anticipation of what will happen next. They didn't know if this was their last night alive, or will they be able to survive and win the battle? My next question was, what does hindrance mean? That is on page 45. Over here, the last paragraph. There were no hindrance to him. Hindrance means to cause difficulty, to make it harder or hold someone back. So when the sentence here says there were no hindrance to him, that means he could break the iron-studded doors. He ripped them open without any difficulty. It didn't stop him from coming in. Right, the next question was, what does the word sentry mean? That is over here on page 46, right here. And so it began to, as he snatched up the first Geatish sentry he saw. So the word sentry means the soldier, guard, or the warrior. If you've written one of these three words, mark it correct. Next question was, who does Grendel eat first? So the answer is right there. He ate Hansio. He was called the first soldier that he attacked and killed. Why is Grendel suddenly filled with fear? Right, I'll read a couple of sentences that tells us. However much he struggled, and he knew at once he had met his match. Filled with sudden fear, the monster struggled again and again to unloose this fist. So basically, he was suddenly filled with fear because he realized that he had met his match finally. He's fighting someone who's as strong as he is, and that made him think that this time might be the last time that he's killing. He can be defeated and get killed this time. Right, so these were all the questions. I hope you got most of them correct. If not, you can always read through the text after I finish the video. Remember to put your question 7's answer on Tapestry. I will see you next time. Bye.